Is there a difference between empathy and compassion? Let's break it down. It's hard to differentiate empathy and compassion. I'm going to show you the little intricacy that is important to understand the difference between the two. I got home from work one day and my wife was having a horrible day. It actually happened to be my birthday too, by the way. I walked in my house and she was just shutting down. She was sad, she was tired, she was overwhelmed. She was sick and tired of our kids, actually. And I walked in and I noticed, I could feel the energy automatically when I walked in the house. It was just there. She was struggling. So I went over and I put my arm around her and she was crying a little bit. And I just held space for her and I felt the struggle that she was having. I listened to how overwhelmed she was feeling. And I could feel with her how overwhelmed she was. That's empathy. I'm feeling with her. I'm there with her in that moment. What I wasn't doing was thinking, it's my birthday, she shouldn't be feeling this way. Or I want to get over these emotions with her really fast and have her be better so that everything's okay. I just sat there in those emotions with her and I held that space. That's what empathy is. It's being with somebody. Just a couple of weeks ago, something horrific happened to a friend of mine, and a family member of theirs died. And it was really hard for me. I was somewhat removed from it, and I wasn't there with them when it happened, but I had compassion for them. What I mean by that is I could see their humanity. I understood their pain. I totally could feel for them. Now, I wasn't feeling with them in that moment, but I was feeling for them. It was different than sympathy. Sympathy is just, I just feel sorry for you. Compassion is, I see your humanity, I understand your pain, and I know that your pain is valid and important. So it's feeling for somebody and seeing their humanity. It's not necessarily feeling with them in that moment like empathy is. Before I continue, I would love to hear your examples of empathy and compassion. So please comment below and share stories where you felt empathy, or maybe you've experienced empathy from somebody else, or you've had compassion for somebody. I work with a lot of therapists, and believe it or not, you guys, therapists are pretty burned out sometimes. Their job is hard. And as I work with those therapists, one thing that I do is I provide empathy for them. I help them process their burnout. I provide space for them to work through their struggle that they're having with the things that they're feeling. It's so easy for me to empathize with other therapists because I am a therapist, so I can hold space for them. But the reality is I don't need to be going through the exact same experience as somebody in order to empathize. If somebody's feeling sadness, if you've ever felt sadness, then you know what that feels like. If somebody is feeling stressed or tired or scared, you felt all of those things too. So you have the ability to feel those things with them, even if you're not exactly in the same position as them. That's empathy. Compassion does something amazing. I'm going to describe that with a story. I work with betrayal trauma. So a lot of my clients, they struggle with sex addiction. Now think about it. To be a sex addict, a lot of people think of perverts and monsters and bad people who are addicted to sex. And they get that label so easily. Well, the spouse, they've been betrayed, so it's easy for them to be hurt by them and look at them as a monster. And for good reason. But the spouses that I work with who can get to a place of compassion for their sex addict partner are the ones that experience their own healing. They experience forgiveness. They experience peace. They can not take personally what's happened to them by their betrayal and the experience with the sex addict, but actually see their partner as a person who's in a lot of pain. See their partner as an actual human being who's struggling. They have compassion for their partner. Because they have compassion for their partner, the life that is blessed the most is their own. This video is not about compassion versus empathy. Both compassion and empathy are awesome things. They create connection, they create love, they create peace. So if you're practicing having compassion for people, or if you're really good at empathizing with people, then keep it up because they're both awesome. The difference is either feeling with them, which is empathy, or compassion, which is seeing the important, powerful human that they are. The most important person to have compassion with is yourself. So start there in knowing that you're important, knowing that you're valued, and seeing your humanity. Having compassion for yourself is important. Having purpose in your life is also important. So check out my video, How to Know That Your Life Has Purpose. And thanks for watching.